Judge Danforth? I couldn't find your key.
What? Alicia said she'd keep a copy for me.
Well, I did find a paperclip. I think I can pick your lock, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, sure, fine.
This shouldn't be too much of a challenge.
Это должно быть несложно. На самом деле, это очень сложно. Собака.
Still got it.
Efficient. How'd you learn to do that, actually?
Online video tutorial.
Someday you have to tell me about your secret life of breaking and entering, Drew. Because you're in danger of being cool. Which, honestly, I just don't like.
Someday.
Ah, those protesters are out there again, stirring the pot. You know, this town used to be a quiet place, but it seems lately there's been an element that has infiltrated our community. I have no doubt one of those troublemakers locked my door and threw away the key. Now, Nancy, your father and I have discussed.
Oh, sorry. I'm not Nancy.
Of course you're not. You look nothing like Carson. Did your father ever tell you about the time we won 4th place at the Lake Winnipesaukee Regatta? You see, at the time I had 20/10 vision, so I was the navigator and...
Judge, this is Deirdre Shannon. She's working with me on the case.
Deirdre, you're the one who tried to break down my door.
Breakdown?
Your Honor, that's an exaggeration. I was knocking. Heavily.
Look, I'm really busy, dealing with this Hathorne House business. Being a judge is not as simple as, investigating during your free time.
Well, we just used our free time to unlock your door. So I'm sure you'll be willing to repay us with some answers to our questions. Right?
Yes, of course. What can I help you girls with?
Can you explain to us how you're involved with the Hathorne House?
Well, yes. The house was built by Judge John Hathorne during the 1600s, and it represented the oldest surviving structure from that era. Judge Hathorne, of course, was one of the 3 judges that presided over the Salem witch trials.
Yes, and I'm sure we can read all about the home's history in Salem's museum.
More recently, Frances Tuttle, Judge Hathorne's last direct descendant, lived in a small section of the house while the rest was left to fall into considerable disrepair. She was alone, except for a part-time caregiver, Lauren Holt, who had a bedroom in the carriage house. A few months ago, Frances Tuttle passed away, which left Hathorne House without a legal heir. According to the historical statutes of Salem, after 90 days, the house reverts to public property, the deadline of which is 2 days from now, at midnight.
I was told that the burning of Hathorn House is suspected to be a case of arson. How did the police come to that conclusion?
The investigation found paint solvent residue on burnt embers, suggesting someone deliberately used an accelerant. Thankfully, Mrs. Tuttle never had to see what became of her home.
And what evidence do you have that May Perry is the one responsible for this?
Evidence? Have you ever heard of recidivism? 3 out of 4 criminals in the United States are repeat offenders, and there's only one person in all of Salem who has a history of fire-related crime.
So, there is no evidence.
Not yet, but there will be.
You don't need evidence. She's already been convicted in the court of public opinion.
Is that what she said?
No, I'm saying it.
She has a history with this sort of thing.
What's May's motive? What does she gain by burning down the Hathorn house?
You'd have to ask her, and while you're at it, you can ask about her alibi, which she refused to give to the police. So, any other questions?
So the Book of Apologies. Why did you really need it?
Yes, and first of all, I'm so glad you're all right. Nasty business. Had I known you were going to be put in harm's way, I would have never called Carson and asked for his help.
I've done plenty of work for my father. He trusts me. I can handle myself.
Yes, I'm sure you can.
So I've already heard some stories, but would you mind giving me your version of why the book is important?
Yes, so Judge Sewell was rumored to keep a ledger of all the accused, intending to publish it to reconcile with their families and clear their names. But he passed away before he could do so.
Going to Austria for a rumored book seems like a heck of a long shot.
Well, I have been under some pressure from the AW group. AW as in accused witches.
Don't you think it's dangerous throwing around May's name as a suspect before any evidence links her to the crime?
What do you mean? What are you saying?
From what you've described, there is no evidence against May. Yet you were saying that she did it. As a judge, I think you would be the first to admit that sounds prejudicial.
It is not just me, Miss Drew. There are plenty of people who believe that May is responsible for this crime. It is not prejudice when she is the only likely suspect.
Actually, that is the definition of prejudice.
I'm not going to have this debate with you. Is there anything else?
So, how did Frances Tuttle pass away exactly?
The woman was 88 years old. The coroner confirmed her death was of natural causes.
So they never investigated Lauren Holt.
You need the suspicion of foul play to investigate someone, young lady.
We'd like to speak with her all the same.
She still lives on the estate, although for how much longer we do not know. You can also find her in her shop, Luminous Infusions. She might be willing to talk to you.
Talk to you later.
Miss Drew, before you go, there is something else I need your help with.
You're not locked out of your car, are you?
Oh, no. There was an incident here recently. Someone broke into the evidence room.
Oh. Have you called the police?
Well, no, not yet. I don't think anything was taken. Never mind. I'll call the police. Thank you for your time.
Честно, самая галимая игра из всех.
So, how did your meeting go with the judge?
Informative, but he's not telling us everything.
Don't worry. Come back tomorrow. He'll be in a better mood then.
What can I help you girls with?
Talk to you later.
Самая галимая игра из всех 33. Честная пионерская. Но я просто хочу закончить это все дело.
Can these guys get any louder? They're going to wake the dead next door.
Maybe that's a good thing. I could ask them a few questions.
Give us back what's ours!
Извините, а против чего вы протестуете?
Excuse me, what exactly are you guys protesting?
Only the greatest injustice to happen in Salem since 1692. They're gonna give the house to the state.
What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? What do we want? Justice. When do we want it?
What do we want? Justice. When do we want it?
What do we want? Justice. When do
Ну,
we want
Б,
it?
что это значит?
AW. What does it stand for?
What do we want? Justice. When do we want it?
Accused witches. Hathorne House is a symbol of the state's oppression. Judge Hathorne bought it cheap after he murdered our ancestors so he could build his mansion. And now we can legally take it back.
What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? What do we want? Justice. When do we want it?
What do we want?
Justice. When do we want it? What do we want? Justice. When do we
Well,
want it?
if you're doing it legally, then why the protest march?
When do we want it?
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it? Rumor has it, all our evidence for a claim to the estate has gone missing. Stolen right from the courthouse.
What do we want?
And the judge himself refuses to speak to us. He hasn't even made an official statement regarding the burglary. It's an injustice!
What do we want? Justice. When do we want it?
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
What do we want? Justice. When do we want it?
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? What do we want? Justice. When do we want it?
Короче,
What do we want?
протестующие, проститующие и так далее.
What do we want?
О,